A lot of people say financial freedom. That means a lot of things to different people. For you, what would, you don't have to tell us how much you earn, but sometimes what you earn, you don't need to earn that to actually be able to leave that, okay? So what's the figure that would mean financial freedom for you, Carl? What stopped you taking action before?
Just little voices in your head, you know, telling you all of the reasons why. And
what do those little voices say?
That maybe you're too young.
How old, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 25.
Okay.
Some people think they know more than, well, people around me think they know more than you, especially when it comes to...
I think we made a comment the other day, is that all the property millionaires you're spending time with?
Yeah.
A good way to do this, guys, is think about, okay, where am I now? Where do I want to get to? What's the gap? So the gap is £3,000, it's 4 properties. So rather than, and 4 properties might seem quite daunting to some people. So we could say, okay, let's say instead of thinking about getting 4 properties in 12 months, if we divide that, that's 4 properties in 12 months, that's 1 every 3 months. If we focus, what do we need to do to get the next HMO, or next rent-to-rent, up and running in 3 months? You only got to think about 1 property. Isn't that easier? Does that feel less daunting?
Yeah.
I'm going to do some live coaching. Let's put your hands together and invite him to the stage. He doesn't know he's doing this, by the way. Kyle Duncan Johnston, looks like. Is Kyle here? Kyle, how you doing?
Well, thank you.
Come over here. So, welcome, Kyle. How are you?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Do you want to lift the microphone slightly?
Oh, well, thank you.
Good, excellent. And tell us a little about yourself, Carl. What do you do for a living? I know because you brought it on the phone, but for everyone else's benefit, what do you do for a living?
IT network security consultant.
Okay, that sounds very posh. Okay, and do you like that?
Yeah, I do. It's all right.
Okay, good. Sounds well paid to me.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, okay. Have you gone to, because we have a lot of people who do mastermind who are in IT, and I can honestly say they are trying to dig that escape tunnel to get out. Does that feel a bit like that for you?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good. No, I don't mean good, but I mean good to understand. Okay. And so Kyle, what brought you here to this? How did you get here?
So property's always been something I wanted to get into, and then I enrolled into your deal sourcing academy.
Oh yeah, okay,
so
great.
I'm a part of that. Obviously started doing that, and obviously as a part of keeping the momentum going, I thought, why not get on the next available course that's going, so that's why I came along here.
Great, yeah. Who else is doing Deal Sourcing Academy? Yeah, lots of people. Okay, good. Great course, yeah?
Yeah.
Great, fantastic. So, what do you want to achieve in your property investing?
Financial freedom, ultimately.
And do you mind sharing? It's very important. You know, Dan talked about having that clarity. A lot of people say financial freedom. That means a lot of things to different people. For you, what would you don't have to tell us how much you earn, but sometimes what you earn, you don't need to earn that to actually be able to leave that. Okay, so what's the figure that would mean financial freedom for you, Carl?
About £3,000.
About how many?
3,000.
£3,000.
Yeah.
Okay, £3,000. Okay, and how long have you been investing in property?
2 months.
2 months. Oh, very, very new to it.
New, yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, good.
Consistently, I'd say 2 months. Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, because I've, you know, as I said, it's something I've wanted to do. So
So how long have you wanted to do it?
Since 2015.
So 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the catalyst in 2015 that made you want to get some income from property?
So me and my partner, we went on to, you know, some free webinars.
Yeah.
And sort of saw the benefits that it can bring.
Okay.
And then obviously I read Rich Dad Poor Dad back then, didn't want to get caught in a rat race.
Yeah, it's a great book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, yeah.
And then ultimately I put so many reasons in front of myself why I wouldn't be able to do it, and then I got caught in a rat race.
Okay.
Climbing the corporate ladder with my partner doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We made so many excuses why, and then decided to buy our first house rather than to invest first.
Did you think you were the only person to do that?
No, definitely not.
No. Do you know why some people in the audience are laughing about that?
Because they've done the same.
Yeah, exactly. So you're in safe company here, okay? How many of us have used excuses not to do something in the past. I'll count myself in that as well. Yeah? Okay. So you're okay. You're in good company here. Okay, great. So, so you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, did some webinars. Did you do anything after that as a result of that?
So I went to through another training provider. And
okay, that's okay. We'll forgive you that. That's okay.
Yeah, maybe
you don't have to name the company.
I won't do.
No, don't do that, but that's okay. We don't have any law cases going on, but okay. So did some training. Look, training's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you learned some stuff from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how long ago was that?
Sorry?
How long ago was that?
As I said, 2015.
Oh, so you did the training 4 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah. It wasn't as intense of some of the stuff I've done since.
Okay.
But as I said, I made loads of excuses and some of the stuff that you...
What were some of the excuses you had, Carl? Like,
didn't have enough money. Didn't know enough people who had the money.
Yeah.
But like you said, who do you know who is not something that I was doing very well. So.
No, okay. Have you learned lots of things this weekend?
Yep, absolutely.
Despite already having done some training, maybe someone reminded you some things?
Yeah, some of it's been a good refresher, and some of the stuff that I've learned before but haven't taken action on.
Yeah. So what stopped you taking action before?
Just little voices in your head, telling you all of the reasons why. And
what do those little voices say?
That maybe you're too young.
How old? Do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 25.
Okay.
Some people think they know more than, people around me think they know more than you, especially when it comes to...
I think we made a comment the other day. Is that all the property millionaires you're spending time with?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Giving you all that great advice. Yeah. How many of us also spend time with people who give us great advice, but they might not quite be qualified to give us that advice? Nothing wrong with opinions?
So I think, you get people around you that they want to help you, but they don't necessarily know how to. So I've had family members who have had houses for so long, and, so much that I've learned that they're not doing necessarily the right way.
Yeah, but they've got to know what they're talking. If they've got a house, they've got to know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's what they've in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, okay, yeah. And so having those people around you who are saying things like that, and that reinforces the voices, doesn't it? Yeah. You're too young, what do you know, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but you want to get here, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it going to take for you to get here? Because when we do coaching, first of all, I want to understand why does someone want to do it, and where you are now, so I'm assuming you don't have any income from property at the moment.
No.
No? And you so where you are now, and where do you want to get to, and then what's the gap? So how do you think, from what you know already, how do you think is the most likely way for you to earn £3,000 a month from property?
Through applying a rent-to-rent strategy, which is my sort of main goal.
Rent-to-rent, okay, right. And it's a great way to start. Where do you live?
Milton Keynes.
Okay, cool. And how much do you think you could make on, do you want to do rent-to-rent with HMOs, service accommodation? Any thoughts on that?
So I've been sort of torn between the two, which ones I should sort of nail down and focus in on. So
okay.
I've had my mind sort of open to either or.
Okay. Open's good, but sometimes you just got to make a decision.
Yeah.
So gut feeling, which do you think resonates with you? Do you know how to do both?
I've had the information that I've been given on both, but probably got more people who'll be able to help me around HMOs.
Okay, so if you're more people around you can help, that might be a better way to go.
Yeah.
Do you think HMOs work well in Milton Keynes?
Yeah, there are quite a few of them. So yeah.
There are, indeed. Yeah, I think it's an Article 4 area, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Okay, right. So, so if you're doing HMOs, how many HMOs do you think you would need to give you this kind of figure?
Depending, maybe 4.
I would say, yeah, 4, probably. 4, or maybe 3 really good ones, or 4 is probably a good idea. So let's say you have 4 properties. Okay, you need 4. How long do you want to take to get those 4 properties?
Well, I want to have them by the end of this year.
By the end of this year. So in a year, just under a year, you want to get 4 properties.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make it easy. Should we give you to this time next year?
Okay.
Okay? So if you came back to this event, are you coming back next year, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely. If you came back next year and we got you up on stage, how cool would it be if you had your 4 properties, only had £3,000 of income?
Yeah, very cool. I will be here, so.
I think that sounds like a commitment. Yeah, that's the round of applause for that. So commitment's great, and that especially publicly, because there's no way back now. And I think quite a few people from Milton Keynes here. Aren't there Milton Keynes pin meeting here?
Oh yeah.
Let's hear a whoop whoop from Milton Keynes. There's a few more, great. Do we all know Kyle? Are we going to hunt him down if he doesn't achieve his goals? Yeah? So you've got some accountability, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you've got some people I'm sure who can help you. And you've made the commitment, which is great. So let's break this down. How do you feel right now about thinking, I'm going to have 4 properties in the next 12 months? How does that feel? Given that you've been doing this a few years and haven't got any yet, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, honestly?
Very confident.
Good. I'm liking that. Okay?
Yeah.
Can I give, is everyone really, could everyone in this room get an extra 4 properties in the next 12 months? Yeah. Some of you are yes, some of you are, oh yeah, maybe. So I want to help. You've got it sorted, I can see, but let me just help everyone else.
Sure.
A good way to do this, guys, is think about, okay, where am I now? Where do I want to get to? What's the gap? So the gap is £3,000. It's 4 properties. So rather than, and 4 properties might seem quite daunting to some people. So we could say, okay, let's say instead of thinking about getting 4 properties in 12 months, if we divide that, that's 4 properties in 12 months, that's 1 every 3 months. If we focus, what do we need to do to get the next HMO or next rent-to-rent up and running in 3 months? You only got to think about 1 property. Isn't that easier? Does that feel less daunting?
Yeah.
And then you know if you're on track. You've got to get the first one for 3 months, and then the next one 6 months, and so on. So by the end of the 12 months, you've got your 4 houses. Okay? Now the great thing about rent-to-rent is it's much, much quicker than if you're buying a property. If you found a great property today, it might take you 3 months to buy it anyway, because of mortgages and things. But once you know how to do rent-to-rent, you could find a landlord this week, you could have the keys, and by April, you could be having income from that. So you can actually do it much quicker with rent-to-rent. Then you need to put some systems in place, obviously. But you could do that, couldn't you?
Yep.
Yeah? So break the goals down into smaller bite-sized chunks. And if it's 1 property in the next 3 months, what would need to happen? So what would need to happen for you to find your first rent-to-rent property in the next 3 months? What are some of the things you might need to do?
Some marketing and contacting local HMO landlords.
Yep, and how might you go about doing that?
Landlord letters.
Yep, have you done landlord letters before?
No, well, I've sent my first set out earlier this week, so.
Great, they've actually gone out, have they?
Yeah.
Excellent. How many landlords are there on the HMO register in Milton Keynes?
Loads. I don't have the specific number because of the way they're set out, but.
Okay. What do you reckon might be?
About 200 maybe.
200? I don't know. Anyone know how many in Milton Keynes? Surely all those people have got the HMO landlord list and have written to them all, right? You might need some more help. Okay, fine. But I don't know how many it is, but I think it might be more than a couple of hundred. So out of a couple of hundred, how many letters have you sent out then?
I sent 100 letters. I didn't
100?
send to all of them. I just sent to a few of them.
Okay. Let me give everyone a tip here.
I know.
You know, on day 1, I said there were 3 things that might stop you getting the most out of this event. One of those things was, I know. So Carl, what do you know?
I don't know.
Well, what? Yeah, obviously you don't know. So what do you know, Kyle?
I should have been sending to all of them.
Should send it. Now, I would agree, if there were 1,200, you don't want to send them all in one go. You want to phase them. So is it because you're phasing them, Kyle, or is you just picked 100 to send to?
I'll be totally honest. In the beginning, I saw so many, and I just thought, let me dig into like a few areas that I know that I'm familiar with.
Yep.
That are quite local to, you know.
Yeah, and that's
stuff like that.
So you've got the list of. You said, right, I'm going to write to the ones who've got properties in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I understand that because you might say, well, this is the only area I want. But the problem is, well, the good thing is, ones that have properties in this area, because of HMO landlords, which is a more advanced strategy, they probably have properties elsewhere. They might have this area, that area. And there might be some on the list who don't have HMOs in this area, but they might have an HMO in this area, but you haven't written to them because you don't want this area, but they might have properties that are not HMOs in the area that you do want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's why you have to write to all of the people on the list. Don't cherry pick them, right? Because you don't know which ones are. You might be lucky and find the ones that all do want to retire and sell a property, but you might be unlucky and not get those ones. So rather than cherry pick, you need to send to all the list. Now, if it's a big list, Don't send them all at once. We've had masterminders who've done all 1,000 letters, and they can't handle the 50, 60 responses they've had in 1 week. So, because they didn't trust the process, they didn't do what I said, which is phase it over. So I would suggest, now you've sent the first 100 out, you want to get all the others and send the rest out. Yeah?
Yep.
And when are you going to do that? So we've got time.
Well, I was going to phase them over 6 to 8 weeks, but I guess I can start that right away.
But Harry, you think there might be only 200? And you want to phase them over 6 to 8 weeks? That's how many a week? Hardly 25 a week, 30 a week? Aren't we running to a timescale here?
So I just didn't want to sort of be bombarding them constantly with...
Or in case they want to take up your offer?
No, in case... Don't want to have that name of being...
By the way, first of all, can we give Kyle a massive round of applause? Kyle didn't volunteer, he was selected. Okay? And I'd like to thank you for a bit. But can you see what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to challenge some of his beliefs. And that's what a coach should do, because we have all these bullshit beliefs in our head, and we need someone to challenge them and go, yeah, okay, you're right. And then hold you to go, when are you going to do it? Does that make sense? Because otherwise, we'll just keep on believing all our stuff, and it'll be another 4 years before you buy your next property. Yeah. And it's great you're starting to take action. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just want to help you get there quicker. That's what I always want to do. Okay? Yeah. So let me ask the question again. When are you going to send the other 100 or so letters if you think there's 200 in total?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? That's great. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Round of applause. Okay. Great. And then, so you've only sent them last week. You might not have had any responses yet, or have you had people start to come back?
No.
No? What was the call to action on your letter?
To give me a call.
To give you a call.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you set up the answering service?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you're trusting the process?
Well, yeah, it's just a forwarder to my own personal phone.
Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah. So is your phone on right now?
Yeah. It's on vibrate. It's not going off.
Okay.
And you don't see it here on my watch.
I thought it was a smile on your face, so I thought maybe it was on vibrate, but still. So yeah, all your mates from Milton Keynes will start stitching you up now. They're going to start texting and phoning you.
That's right, everyone will see it on the watch anyway.
But you work in IT, don't you?
Yes.
And so are you able to answer phone calls anytime during the day?
Yes, mostly.
Mostly?
Mostly, yeah.
So if someone calls you, you're at work, it's okay to pick up the phone and talk about motivated seller buying properties, landlords and things?
Well, I just had the idea to step away to, be able to speak to them directly straight away.
Yeah, okay, okay.
It is something I can do from my desk, so.
Absolutely, I get that. Are there any times when you wouldn't be able to take that call?
Yeah, there are, yeah.
Right, okay. What happens when, if say you're in a meeting or something, you can't go, oh, I've got something more important, I'll be back in a minute. What happens in the times when I'm making a really important point here, by the way, do you reckon I'm just coaching Kyle here? No, I'm not. I'm sending a message out, so thank you for helping us get these examples, right?
I appreciate it,
yeah. So what happens if you can't answer the phone?
That landlord calls someone else.
Well, they might do. They might do. Are they going to leave a message on your answer phone?
Probably not.
Probably not. No. So in the training that we gave on deal sourcing, we talked about putting systems in place. That's scaling up, so this is relevant today, right? And what do we recommend you put in place?
An answering machine, an answering
service. So that a person answers it, takes the basic details, they can text it or email it through to you, and then in your break, or obviously it sounds like a pretty easy job to me, you could just check online, right?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But at the moment, you've got to set yourself up for success. You've got to give yourself as much chance as you possibly can to get the results you want. And you need to be available for when those landlords call you. Yeah, so I'm just trying to help you tweak the process. What's stopping you set up a call answering service or getting a VA or someone to take the call for you?
So I invested in, getting registered with the PRS and a few other things. So it was just, I thought, let me save the money on that this month and I'll do it the next month.
Yeah.
So that was last month. So this month is when I was planning to set the service up. Haven't got around to it yet, but I'll also be doing that tomorrow.
I love your commitments. My concern is this list is going to get pretty long by the time we've finished.
My partner's videoing me, I can see over there, so I gotta make sure that I do him.
So more accountability for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I get it, sometimes, sometimes we need to prioritize things, but, so obviously you've joined the deal sourcing thing, and I want to go back to letters actually, because one thing that I just want to make sure you're doing correctly that you may not. What does it say in your letter? Have you just used the template we've given you, or have you tweaked it at all?
I've just used the template.
Okay, so it talks about selling or renting, which is good. Sometimes people make a mistake, they're looking for rent to rent, and they just talk about renting your property. And if it goes to a landlord who's looking to sell, well, they won't call you because they don't want to rent it, they want to sell it. So keep your landlord letters nice and open, which is what you're doing, which is great, okay? But I suggest we trust the process. Put the call answering. Do you know how much call answering service costs you?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. How much do you think it might cost you?
Anything between £50 to £100.
It's about £4,000 a month.
No.
So is that why you put it off?
No. I didn't think it was £4,000. I thought it was much less than that.
The good news is it's not £4,000 a month. It's about £20 a month.
Okay.
That includes your first 5 calls. And the amount of letters you're sending out, you'll be lucky if you get 5 calls anyway. And was that a bit harsh? I heard some people going, oh, that's a bit harsh, Simon. Oh. Accountability, right? Slight sarcasm, I'm afraid, maybe as well. But, okay, I take that back. But you pay an extra £1, I think, or you can get a VA, but I don't care what you do, you need to have some system.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't want to miss those calls, because you're right, they might call someone else. Is it a chance that landlord might have had a couple of letters from different people? Was someone calling you? You looked at your watch.
I thought they were, yeah, no.
Yeah?
It's probably a message. Yeah, it's Courtney. Hold on.
Oi, stop it. I was going to get someone else to coach you. I'm having too much fun doing this. I think we're just going to stay with you. If someone, is there a chance, Kyle, that someone might have had a couple of landlord letters, not just you, but other people?
Yeah.
And what happens sometimes, they get the first letter, they think, that's brilliant, I'm going to give them a call. They might get a letter, that's brilliant, I'm going to put it on the to-do pile. And they don't get around to it. Anyone else got those kind of piles? I have at home, yeah? And for what they don't get around. And then another letter comes, I've had letters before, I'll give them a call. Now that second letter might be your letter, it might be someone else's letter. And people say, everybody's sending landlord letters. They should be, but they're not. And some of them might just dabble and send a few out and think, oh, that doesn't work, because they've not done it properly. You've got to trust the process, you've got to treat it as a campaign. So you're absolutely right. If they don't call you, they might have someone, there's no answer there, it's gone to an answer phone. Let's call someone else. I had another letter, let's try them.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't want to lose that person, do you?
No.
So on Monday, when you set your system up, that's a great thing to do, and send out your other letters. What else do you need to do on Monday to move you towards getting this first property in the next 3 months so you get 4 in the next year? What else do you need to do you think?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Okay. I know you don't know, but what if you did know? What would it be, do you reckon?
I don't know. Please help.
Yeah, I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would the next thing be? Because you've done a great start, by the way, landlord letters. Yeah. Call answering, so you've got a system. Yeah. So let's say someone calls you, what would the next thing you'd do?
Oh, call back.
Yeah, that helps, yeah. Call back.
Sorry, I thought you meant in terms of marketing to find.
Yeah, well, I'm just, wherever you want to go, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the process, call them back, get the details of the property, then what do you need to do?
Arrange to meet them.
Yeah, when should you arrange to meet them?
As soon as possible.
Great, so you've been listening, brilliant, as soon as possible. Go around, and what kind of questions should you be asking that landlord?
Basically, I need to ask the question to try and find out what their motivation is or what
Excellent.
the problems are that they have.
Brilliant. Yeah, you do, yeah. And what do you think some of the motivations might be?
Bad tenants in their properties, maybe.
Yeah?
You know, they may be scared of the new Section 24.
Yep, absolutely.
Or they may not have sorted that out yet.
Right.
They may just be wanting to sell and had too many properties, want to sell.
So if that's the point, if someone, because you're looking for rent to rents, what if they want to sell and they don't want to rent to rent? They don't want to. By the way, I don't think you should ask for rent to rents. As Paul said the other day, Paul Collier, I think you should always ask for purchase lease options.
Yeah.
So you ask the question, would you like a 3 to 5 year guaranteed rent? Yes, I would. Great. And would you be interested in selling it to me in that time period if I like the property? If they say yes, fundamentally that's an option. You just need to negotiate the terms. If they don't want to sell it to you, just the rental is the rent to rent. Does that make sense? So always aim for a PLO, and then come back to rent to rent if you need to. Okay. But what if someone says, no, I don't want to wait. I just want to sell it. What can you do?
Package the deal.
Sorry?
Package the deal.
Package the deal? Right. Do you know anyone else in Milton Keynes who might want to buy an HMO?
Yeah. Yeah.
All the people at Milton Keynes HMO who are going to support you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your little power team. How much would you package up a property for?
It says anything between 3 to 5K.
3 to 5 typically, yeah. But if it's...
It depends on the deal.
It does depend on the deal. But yeah, 3 to 5K typically. And how would that help you in terms of starting to build up your funds to pay for your rent to rent? Would that be good?
Yeah.
Yeah, so always remember, when you speak to a landlord, just in case it doesn't work for you, or you can't move forward with it, it might work for someone else who might have different criteria from you. Okay? Do you know what your criteria are, by the way? Do you know what kind of cash flow you're looking to achieve? What kind of return on investment you're looking for?
Not entirely.
Shall we work on that now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So if it's an HMO you're going to be using, what kind of cash flow do you think you should be getting? So for rent to rent, we'll do a little bit on rent to rent now. What kind of cash flow do you think you should be getting from a rent to rent property?
About 750.
And how many rooms is that? How many rooms is that?
I haven't actually worked out the numbers yet. So
Okay. Would you like to know how to work out the numbers?
yeah.
That'd be useful, useful for everyone else?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's how we do this. So you need to work out how much profit do you want to earn. And let's say you want, I would say I wouldn't do a rent to rent for less than £100 profit every single month. It wouldn't be worth it less than that, okay? So let's say you want 750, okay? Because you want to get 4 properties to give you 3,000. So 750 is really what you need, okay? So 750 is your profit. How much are and let's say it's a 5-bed property, okay? How much do HMOs go for as rooms go for in Milton Keynes, rental-wise?
I've seen roughly 450, I've seen.
450, okay, so actually I need a bit more space on this. So if we had 5 rooms at 450, how much would the gross rental income on this property be for us each month? 2,250, I think, is that right? Okay. Now, you always should have some void periods. Not should have, you're probably going to have some void periods, but the essence of a rent to rent is you only do a rent to rent in an area where you know there's a really good strong rental demand, and your job is to make sure there aren't void periods. You need to manage it really well. So I'm not saying there aren't voids, but just for the sake of ease of calculation, should we say Carsten are going to do a great job, really keep on top of this and make sure it's full all the time. Is that okay for that assumption? Yeah? Okay? Yeah, okay. So you want 750 a month, don't you, in profit? So you work out how much profit you want, 750. Take that off, that leaves 1,500. Now, in an HMO, you generally pay the bills. On a 5-bed property, a great rule of thumb is £100 per room. So how much would the bills be if it's a 5-bed property?
500.
500. So that's your bills. So bills, 500. Profit, 750. Therefore, the rent, the maximum rent you could pay to a landlord would be 1,000. Does that make sense? So this is how you work out how much you can pay on a rent to rent. What's the rental income You might factor in a little bit of voids maybe. You're generally not going to give this to a letting agent because otherwise the landlord would just do it themselves. You're adding the value by doing this. And as Dan said, it's really hard to find good letting agents to do multi-lets, okay? So what you do is you work out what profit you want, then take off the bills. This is the maximum you can give the landlord. Now, you might think, well, why on earth would the landlord agree to take £1,000 if they could get 2,250 themselves? Well, maybe they've had bad tenants. Maybe they've had bad letting agents. Remember, they don't get all of that. They've got to pay the bills as well. And maybe the property is not completely full. Maybe the property needs a little bit of light refurb or something. So it might be part tenanted. And you coming in giving them a guaranteed, as in every single month, whether there's tenants in or not, you're going to pay them £1,000. That's the peace of mind and certainty you're giving to them. Okay? Now, you might think, yeah, but I don't want to commit to have to pay this every single month. But if you think about it, that's no different than a mortgage, is it? If you bought the property, you'd have to pay the mortgage every month. Otherwise, the mortgage company say, well, we'll have the property back. Thank you very much. Yeah. So it's just, you would have certainty that you know you're going to find the tenants at this rate to fill this property and keep it full all the time. And all you need is 4 of these to give you your £3,000. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you're finding in the area the landlords you're just not getting this, you need to look harder. You need to follow up because the first time you speak to a landlord, they may not be interested. But actually, a couple of months down the line, they've still got voids and things, this suddenly might become more attractive. Yeah? And you need to be really persistent. But if you still can't get this, you might need to say, well, I might need to take 600 profit, which means you could pay 1,150. So there's some scope here, but you need to make sure that you know what makes a good deal for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If it doesn't work for you, do you think there might be some people who might be happy with a £500 a month profit?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some of your colleagues at Milton Keynes. Yeah. And so therefore, if it doesn't work for you, you could package it and sell to them. Make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're making $750 a month, that's $9,000 a year. How much can you afford to put into a property? Because sometimes you need to put furniture in. You don't have to buy it. You could lease it, but how much do you think you can afford to put into this property if you had, say, a 5-year contract? It's going to make you £9,000 a year.
Maybe 6,000?
Well, I would say I wouldn't want to do more than you're going to make in the first year. You want to make a rent-to-rent, ideally you want at least 100% return on your investment, so you get all your money back in the first year, then the subsequent years of profit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're putting too much, because you're going to give the property back to the owner at the end of the period. Okay, does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's touch very briefly on marketing. So what other marketing could you do, as well as landlord letters, to find some properties that you could maybe take on a rent-to-rent basis?
Leafleting.
Sorry?
Leafleting.
Leafleting, yeah. So you could target certain streets at HMOs, yeah. What else?
Speaking to estate agents.
Estate agents? Letting agents who've got big properties they can't rent out, yeah. What else?
Looking for landlords directly on sort of websites like
Gumtree,
yeah.
Spare Room, yeah, you could drop them emails, can't you?
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. What else?
Gone blank.
That's okay, that's pretty good, right? Is that good? Yeah. Lots of things. When are you going to do all that? How about Monday?
No.
No. And it's good to work out what is on your list, what's the most important thing, prioritize those things and just judge out. But how much time do you put into your property investing?
Well, I've said to myself I'm going to try and put 10 hours a week now. 10
hours a week, yeah. I mean, when people do mastermind, they say, look, do I need to have a full-time job? Or can I do it with a full-time job? So yeah, as long as you have 8 to 10 hours a week, focused time, you can absolutely do this. And you should be able to find that time, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So is there anything that's going to stop you from achieving this goal? So next year, you can come back on stage, we give you a massive round of applause, congratulate you for achieving your £3,000 a year, a month, sorry, within a year.
What was the question? Is there anything that's going to stop?
Is there anything else that's going to stop you doing it?
No, only myself.
Only yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, and what can you do about that?
Just take action and just...
Take action. So obviously we've had a bit of fun today, a bit of accountability. Who's going to hold you to account?
Yeah.
The Milton Keynes crew?
Yeah. We've
Yeah?
got quite a tight-knit bunch, as you probably can imagine. So
Say again?
we've got quite a tight bunch, as you can probably see. So yeah, they are.
Good, good, and it's great that so many of you come here today. And how about a bit of public accountability?
Yeah.
How
I've
about,
said it out loud what I plan to do. So
yeah, but how about keeping us updated in the Facebook group?
cool. Cool.
It's a good idea? Yeah? So let us know when you've had responses to landlord letters, let us know how it's going, and definitely let us know when you have your first deal.
Cool.
Sound like a
Will
deal?
do. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's give Carl a massive round of applause. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate that. All the best. Okay. Thank you. Was that cool? You know, it's really important. If you get someone to hold you to account, ask you some really simple, was there anything difficult there? Really simple questions. He knew most of the answers, didn't he? We just had to kind of extract them out of it, get some commitment moving forward. You know, if you want to be successful, you have to commit. No one else is going to do this for you. It's completely down to you. Thank you.